Salute, salute. Grand rising to all. Grand rising to all. All right. Just want to give our salutes to the Most High, our higher power, man. You know, got to give it up to the internal, indigenous, spiritual, Most High. Trolls only God and your mama can love you. And last but not least, y'all know how it go, man. One time, yeah, yeah, yeah. I say one time, yeah, yeah, yeah. Want to give a shout out to Brother in the Cut, Mother Earth, Sage or more. And I want to give a shout out to Alicia Barnes, too, who has really been helping me through. You know what I mean? What's up, nephew? Cornel Saunders. I remember now. I remember. Who has really been kind of like helping me along. What's up, Drewbert on TikTok? What's up, brother? What's up, brother? Okay. So I definitely want to give that love. All right. And I want to give love to my nephew right here, too. Cornel Saunders, you know what I'm saying, for coming through and helping me with my setup and getting everything right to where now I can share my screen live and I can compete, y'all. I can compete. Here's what I want to get into this morning. There's not, it's kind of like a, what's up, Latressa? How you doing, sweetheart? How you doing? Good to see you. I'm learning that there is a great divide amongst America, but yet there's an even greater divide amongst the indigenous, us, okay, the black folks. There's a great divide. Um, it's different from when you're dealing with religion, when you're dealing with envy, when you're dealing with politics. There is some kind of social construct within us that makes us not unify but compete against one another. Meaning, you will prey on someone who's less fortunate as you because it makes you feel better about who you are. You will step on someone to come up and use them for a stepping stone rather than pull your own people up with you, ladies and gentlemen. And that should be a problem. When bragging and boasting with materialistic things become the very thing that define you, there is a problem within you. There's a problem within you. A lot of times we feel like we have to have these assets because it's going to set us above the rest. Or when people see me, they're going to know that I'm above average. You're still black at the end of the day. So no matter if you're driving a Dodge Neon or driving a 600 series Benz, I mean, if you get pulled over by the wrong cop at the wrong day and you're just black, we know the outcome. That cop don't care about what you're driving, and 9 times out of 10, you're gonna catch it worse than what the person is driving the Dodge Neon is gonna catch, because now he's gonna be upset about your assets too. He's gonna be upset as well. So a lot of times we do things to stand out, but we're actually drawing attention to ourselves. In the midst of drawing that attention, another thing that we're doing is taking the attention away from where we need it the most culturally. And that's to heal the cultural divide, the black divide. We're always speaking of unity, 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 unity. How is that possible when we let little things separate us? Little, mediocre, minute things. What up, FBA Convo? Little, mediocre, minute things redefine us and divide us. I come from a world where no one's better than anyone. No one is greater than anyone. I walk in a world to where your assets do not define you. That's defined by your content of character. It's defined by your level of intellect, not your accomplishments. That just makes you a wealthy dummy to me. You know, it makes you a wealthy dummy. When you've got money, you've got assets, but you lack in common sense, the two does not complement. It just does not complement each other. Certified salute to your FBA convo. Hey, that brother doing work over there, man. Black Alpha Network. Love that brother, man. Love that brother. That brother be going in, man. Salute to that brother, man. Salute to that brother. So it should be about healing. Healing. If you have it, that's your accomplishment. Those were your goals. That's your walk of life. You never know what someone else has accomplished or what they're in the midst of accomplishing. And you slingshot yourself above them because your time happens to be now. Not knowing that that same person you're putting down at what time is it my time? It's 12:52 p.m. my time. So let's say at 12:52 my time, I put someone down on one of these social medias. And thank you, TikTok, for rocking with me. Thank you, YouTube, for rocking with me. If you rock with me on TikTok, find me on YouTube. If you rock with me on YouTube, follow me on TikTok, please. Um, but at 12:52, I could very well put someone down. Can we get the lights up on YouTube, please? Can we get those lights up, moderators? Can we get those lights up? But I could very well put someone down at 12:52, and at 1 o'clock p.m., you scratch a winning scratch off ticket, a lottery ticket, and let's say it's $20 million. Who's going to look like the ass? You or me? You or me? But we let little things divide us. Love is different, y'all. Love is different. Love is supposed to be something internal. Love is supposed to be something that no matter what, it saves the day for everything. Love is supposed to be plutonic, man. Love is not supposed to be engineered or manufactured. Love is just supposed to exist. The ability to care and be concerned and show discernment. It it should just be it should just exist. But we've gotten away from that as humans and as a culture. We'll put each other down. We want to outwit one another. We want to compete with one another. You know, a lot of y'all are sitting around like messing with your ex best friends, girlfriends, and boyfriends and stuff right now. Right now. Right now. But when you know what it's like to be hurt, humiliated, when you know what it's like to cheat and be cheated on, when you know what it's like to be the dog and be dogged out, when you know what it's like to be on top today and on the bottom tomorrow because karma has caught up with you, when you've taken that time to heal, when you've taken that time to do a self-evaluation check, when you've taken that time to spiritually grow, when you've taken that time to address your flaws, when you've taken that time to change, there's nothing in this world that's greater in value than that. Nothing. Nothing beats that. Nothing beats that. You're showing elevation. You're showing growth. That's immeasurable. Immeasurable. When you've been through all of these things and you were forced to even heal by yourself, cry by yourself, spend those holidays by yourself, you elevate to a place that no one can disrupt. You elevate to a place to where you start seeing things in slow motion. You can see it before it happens. You're aware. You're more conscious. You're more geared to circumstances rather than the right now. If I do this right now for a come up, what is my circumstances? We think about that stuff. We see the black hole in the black community. We see the black hole within ourselves. And that is what we had to take time to heal. Those type of people who heal alone, suffer alone, do everything alone, do you know how hard it is to bring those type of people down? Do you know how hard it is to humble or humiliate someone who's already been humbled from humiliation? When we allow our humiliation to speak, our humility to speak, then we become better human beings. And that usually leads to us being humble. Humble. This world is still prideful. This world is still prideful. People are still prideful. We're screaming black unity, black unity, black unity. Truth is, there's no black unity. There's a black divide. There's a black divide between a man and a woman. There's a black divide between a black Democrat and a black Republican. There's a black divide between a black Muslim and a black Christian. There's a divide between a tall black man and a short black man. There's nothing but division. What's up, Sammy? What's up, Sammy? There's nothing but division. And we need to restore order. We need to restore order. The day we allow assets and materialistic things to redefine who we are, to become our social integrity, there's a problem. That means we're not paying enough attention to ourselves, and it's something that we are trying to escape. And by having these magnificent things, it makes me feel better than the next man because at least I have this. You can't take it with you. It doesn't change your content of character. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't cleanse that evil blood that flows inside of you. It doesn't cleanse the fact that you're ashamed of who you are or that you're putting someone else down. It doesn't change your ugliness. It doesn't. It doesn't change what's truly corrupt about your character or your personality. If you're mouthy, guess what? Now you're mouthy, arrogant, but you drive something nice. The fact that you drive something nice does not work on your arrogance. It does not heal your mouthiness. These are things that we depend on to make us feel better about who we are. When in my opinion, I feel better about who I am because I actually did the work to change those things. So no matter what I drive or how I dress, you're always getting the best of me. You're getting to know me. I don't want to attract anyone under any false narratives, under any false pretenses, under any false implications. It's about being genuine. It's about actually being your brother's keeper. You know, we've got to take this thing back to where it takes a village to raise a child, because now it takes all of us to unify. But I'm not so sure that we can do that. I'm not so sure that we can do that. We have people in our culture who has elevated themselves above the less fortunate because they have assets, y'all. When everyone has something to pass down, even if it's just a memory, even if it's just a moment, that's what we remember the most. I don't care if your family members leave you $100,000 upon their transition. That money can come and go. That money can come and go. But you know what stays with you forever? The memory of that person, the time you spent, the moments, the laughter, the joy, the togetherness. To me, that's immeasurable. Nothing tops that. Nothing tops that. So if we want to do better, we definitely have to do better, because we're definitely not doing better. We're doing worse. We're doing worse. You know, you can't get black Christians to get along. You could put a Christian in the same room, and at some point, they're not going to get along either. Now, we can say that this is resonated. It's a hangover from the Willie Lynch letter of 1712, Virginia Rock Beach, but some will argue that's only making excuses. Ye once said that slavery was a choice, and everyone misunderstood the perception of what Ye was saying. I agree with Ye, because had they got tired sooner, had they unified sooner, it wouldn't have lasted as long. Wouldn't have lasted as long, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what we've got here too. We've got to want to go ahead and do the work because right now, all of this is a choice. It's a choice. It's a choice. Me, I'm no better than anybody. Anybody. Black people, what we need to learn is stop letting money change you. Stop letting money change you. Be the same person you were in the midst of having nothing. That's humbleness. That's humbleness. When you allow money to change you, you adopt a very ugly trait of thinking that you're better than someone else. You'll look down on a homeless man with no shoes on his feet because you've got $300-400 Jordans on yours. Or maybe you're wearing some Gucci's. Who knows? Who knows? Y'all know how black people are about brands. But in turn, that homeless man just may be more intelligent than you. That homeless man may have the keys to unlock the very investments you've been looking to make. That homeless man might be in a better position than you in life. He just chooses to be humble. He chooses to be humble. Nobody ever talks about where Jesus lived. They just talk about where Jesus roamed, where he walked, where he traveled. Where did he live? Where did he live? Where did he live? Was Jesus a bum? Because everybody talks about Jesus and all the good things that he did, but nobody talks about where Jesus lived. So if he actually existed, does that take away from his greatness? No. No. People who move around, people who pay attention, people who know what it's like to be observant, these are your people who are called to do certain things. These are people who are called spiritually to elevate, y'all. And we have to understand what our differences are in order to get to the progression stage. And we're not doing that. Black man is upset with the black woman. Black woman upset with the black man. And while we're upset with each other, everyone's passing us economically. Everyone is passing us economically. Black people get a little piece of the pie, and it's exactly what I just said. It's their piece. They're not going to look down and pull nobody else up. And we can't just blame this on, our black celebrities and our black athletes. And no, it's got a lot to do with us too. Somebody knew those individuals before they even got famous. Somebody turned them down before somebody said yes and gave them a chance. So these were people who just kept their dream and their hope active, and somehow made it. The people who work hard are usually your most humblest people. But the people who've never accepted who they were in life, let's say you got picked on because of your weight. Now you're rich, you're wealthy. You don't care about your weight because you drive this, you wear that, and people are noticing you now. Well, that weight is still unhealthy on you. You're still the same person. At the end of the day, when you strip down, when you take all of that off, all of that glitter and glamour, you're still you. There's still some things underneath the surface that we all have to address and work on. Therefore, money and assets does not make you a better human being than the next. It doesn't make you better. What makes you better is how you interact with people. What makes you better is how you become more selfless than selfish. What makes you better is reaching out to help people. Give that advice. You don't knock someone down who's been down their whole life. Pull them up. Pull them up. And that's the problem with our society. And what's more alarming is this, and this is so hypocritical, black people, but we are definitely convicted of this. It's us. It's us. So we'll see our black family members or black people we know on the streets and they're homeless. They could be standing in the median on the corner holding a sign, anything. and we'll stop in the middle of traffic. Hey, such and such, man, get in this car. No, I ain't finna leave my people out here like that. No, we'll take them home, make sure they get cleaned up. We'll feed them. We'll do everything. You know what I mean? But when it comes to us as a group, we don't keep that same code. Those who have it usually step on those who don't have it. Those who are in the midst of getting it usually step on those who just ain't quite got it yet. Your assets and materialism should not define who you are. That's something very shallow to use for definition. Remember me for my talents. Remember me for my message. Remember me for my smile. Remember me for my jokes. Remember me for my laughter. Remember me for my goofiness. Hell, remember me for my red hair. Those are the things that define who I am. Remember me for my resilience. Remember me for my trial and errors, and know that no matter what, I never gave up the fight. No matter what, I ran to rather than running from. Remember me for being that guy who will wake up in the morning and walk past someone who has no intentions of speaking to me, or might be going through a bad day, and a simple smile, hello, how you doing this morning, changes everything for that person. Maybe that's the attention they needed. Maybe that's the interaction they were longing for. Maybe they only wanted to be noticed. There's so many other things to remember yourself for that we could be placated towards, but we're not. We're not. It's always materialistic stuff. And you can tell when people have a problem with themselves because they think that materialistic asset makes them better than they were, or defines them, or puts them in a certain class. If you're ugly on the inside, nothing you drive or put on is going to clean up that ugly. Nothing is going to hide that ugly. Nothing is going to mask that ugly. Nothing's going to mask that arrogance. You know, there's work that we all have to do. But in order to do the work, we have to be accountable. We have to be accountable. We have to know that this change is needed. Okay? We have to know that we still have flaws. If y'all think rich people don't struggle, they say more money, more problems. If y'all think rich people don't struggle, man, just like the people who don't have it, you're sadly mistaken. It's called life. It's called humanity, man. It's called trial and tribulation. The difference is you have some people who stay at the bottom, cry and complain about it. And you have some people who know that this is life, this is going to happen. But at the end of this storm, at the end of this test, there's something great, there's something amazing that's going to take place. So you fight through it and you weather the storm, and you reap your rewards. And I'm not talking about like physically reaping the rewards. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about through good works, through good karma, y'all. Through good works, through good karma. That's all it takes, is just to care for someone else and watch how the universe will care for you. All it takes is to love someone else and watch how the universe loves you back. All it takes is to show attention to someone who's less fortunate than you and watch how the universe shows you the ultimate attention. It's about putting out good energy so that that energy can be reciprocated. There used to be a time where you could pull up in a drive-through, and when you got to the window, you can ask the cashier, hey, how much for the order behind me? And they tell you. And then you pay for it, and you tell that person, well, when they get up here, tell them to pass it on. And that was going around for years. For years. And it was good energy. And it was a great feeling. It was a great feeling on behalf of the person who was making it happen for the person behind them. Because you don't know their financial state. They could have more than you. But just the general random act of kindness is what brings people through. That's what's infectious. That's what should always be infectious. This country has seen so much of a divide, so much turmoil, so much destruction, so much chaos that's what we're used to. We're desensitized to those type of things now. But doing the right thing and saying, hey, pass it on, has become rare. It's a lost art. The ability to care outside of yourself or someone else, it's just not there anymore. It's just not there. We have a long way to go if we're talking about Black unity. And I'm not sure that we'll ever get there, but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. We have to deal with the bougie, the belay, the ratchet, the ghetto, the intelligent, the unintelligent, the conservative, the liberal, the Uncle Tom, the Uncle Sam, the Stephen on Django's. We got to deal with the religion. We got to deal with so much as Black people. I'm not sure we will ever get there. But again, I am hopeful, man. If you're one of those people who allows life to pass you by because you're waiting for life after you transition, I say to you, wake up. If you're one of those people who's never loved you for you until you became a materialistic mongrel, again, I say, wake up. Assets lose value. You can have it today and it can be taken from you tomorrow. Don't let that be the thing that defines you as a human being. If you're a loving, capable, nurturing, healing, self-absorbed human being, then be that. Be that. No matter what you drive, no matter how much your clothes cost, no matter where you live versus someone else's live, know that you're human. Know that you bleed just like them. Know that when you fall, you've got to get up just like them. Just like them. Money isn't everything. A peace of mind, to me, and knowledge is everything. Everything. The ability to move throughout the world and understand everything that's going on is priceless. A lot of times when you're conscious, when you're woke, you wish you can go back to not seeing things as they are. Truth is, you can't. Once you're woke, once you're conscious, you're conscious. You can never shake it off. You can never shake it off. Yeah, like putting lipstick on a pig. It's still a pig. I remember that with Sarah Palin. I remember that FBA convo. And that's the truth. Good example. You can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. It's still a pig. There's still work to be done within you, within us, within each other. Now, the people I've lost on YouTube, those moderators from that exchange yesterday, to each his own. They'll be replaced. Someone else will come along. I'm more thankful that I got to know exactly who you are and what you're about so that I didn't get sucked in too deep. I'm more thankful for that morally and ethically. I'm more thankful for that, But the truth is the truth. There should never be a time to where we are belittling each other because you have a little bit more than someone else. And you don't know if you have more than that person. You're speaking what? Financially, economically. You don't know the joy inside of that person. You don't know the spirit inside of that person. You don't know. So we measure things on a scale that's irrelevant to the conversation. That's irrelevant to the conversation. Man, if you just sit and hold a conversation one day with a homeless person, man, when you walk up on these homeless people, you're going to automatically feel sorry for them. But realize these people don't even feel sorry for themselves because they found joy and freedom and a way to survive during the hardest of times. And in the midst, they still learn to smile. Still learn to smile. When you walk up on these people and you talk to these people's stories, and some of the metaphors and parables that I give you, it's priceless, man. It's uplifting, man. Uplifting. I stop all the time and talk to homeless people. All the time. Because that makes me realize that even though I struggle from day to day, like most Americans, I'm still more fortunate than others, but I'm not too proud. I'm not too proud to notice you. I'm not too proud to stop and hold a conversation with you. I'm not too proud to help you if you're hungry. I'm not going to belittle you because I know what that situation feels like. I know what those living conditions feel like. So I'm going to help you. We don't do that anymore. We don't do that anymore. Humanity is a lost art in this country, ladies and gentlemen. Loving someone outside of yourself and outside of your spouse is a lost art. Lost art. You know, it's funny, you could walk past a white brother or sister, and they might have been raised to not even like you, but they're going to speak to you and give you a genuine smile. Hello, good morning, how you doing? And you won't even plan to speak. But when you walk past your brother or your sister in the streets, in the hood, in the supermarkets, it's just a stare down. It's like two pit bulls waiting to lock. It's not the same energy. It's not the same genuineness. We can't greet each other and we're one of the same. But a white brother or sister can greet us and disarm us and make us feel almost shocked in a way. You weren't expecting that to happen. If there was anyone you was expecting not to notice you, it's that white brother or sister. You're expecting your black brothers and sisters to notice you. And those are the ones that don't notice you. Those are the ones that don't help you. Those are the ones who think they're better than you because they've got a little bit more than you. Those are the ones who's going to hold hours worth of conversations, bragging about their accomplishments and what they have. Because they want you to praise them. They feel like they made it or they've got it, so they're the blueprint, and nothing that you say is more important than what they're telling you because they are the example of. That's arrogance. That's prideful. Everyone's walk is different. Everyone's goals are different. Everyone's talents are different. Everyone's resources are different. Everyone's capabilities are different. And that's not to make an excuse. That's being real, ladies and gentlemen. It's being real. Do y'all really think that anybody out here, black or white, will be struggling if they could just snap their fingers and make it happen like that? Do y'all think that anyone, black, white, whatever race, do you think they would be struggling? Do you think they would be homeless? Do you think they would be hungry? Do you think they would be without shoes or health care if they could just snap their fingers and make it happen just like that? But talking to people who's had those handouts, that's what they would make it seem like. Life is a grind. Every day you've got to do a little bit better than you did the day before. And no matter what comes your way, you've got to deal with it. You've got to weather it. You've got to go through it. You can't circumvent and go around it. You've got to go through it. That's how you gain the experience. That's how you learn to love. That's how you learn to make the right decisions. That's how you learn to stay on a righteous path. That's how you learn how to treat people because you ultimately know how you want to be treated. You know how some people have treated you and you know how much it hurt. So why would you reciprocate that energy on someone else? All while getting older daily. Yes, FBA Convo. So these are the things we need to be geared to. Not what you drive, not what you wear, not how much money is in your bank account. Yes, do as good as you can financially, yes, but don't let those things define who you are. There's people who get up and go get it and got it, and now your families can't stand you because you act bougie. You're too good to come around now. You're too good to care, but you struggle with that same family and they struggle with you to make sure when you were coming up that you had the bare necessities. But now that you're doing better, you're better than everyone else. Now that you got it, you didn't reach down and help the same family that helped you because you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have made it if it wasn't for that family. Regardless of what they had, they made the best of it. And sometimes that's all you can do. And that's what America has been doing. No matter what, you make the best of it. You make the best of it. Truth Seeker 11, how you doing? How you doing? You make the best of it, y'all. A lot of people need a taste of humble pie. A lot of people have forgotten what it feels like to be humane, to have nothing, but still love like you've got everything. The difference between someone who has something and someone who doesn't have something, see that someone who has something has everything to lose. And your attitude and your arrogance can cause you to lose everything in an instant. That person who don't have anything is used to having nothing. And you know what? They've only got everything to gain. They have nothing to lose, everything to gain because they come from nothing but the struggle. When you're a prideful person and you come from everything and you already have it, it can be stripped away. You have everything to lose when life, when karma, when the energy starts to reciprocate. When it starts to turn back around on you, these are the very things that you have that are at risk. And the only thing that homeless person or a less fortunate person is risking is gaining. It's gaining. Everything that goes up has to come down. Everything that goes up has to come down. When you are too proud to love, to embrace, to help those around you who are less fortunate, and you have to look at these people and measure yourself against them on a scale to feel better about you, there's a problem within you. There's a problem within you, ladies and gentlemen. A big problem, a huge problem. So where does the unity start? Where does the unity start? Why are we so interested in tearing those bridges up rather than repairing those bridges? Why are we so stuck on being different and being better and competing with our own rather than competing as a race, as a culture all together? It used to be a time we was like, man, put it on the map, put it on the map. We're going to put such and such on the map. When are we going to put us on the map? When are we going to put us on the map? We can't form a Tulsa, Oklahoma. We can't form a Black Wall Street because too many Black people want to be Wall Street. Too many Black people are too bougie, too arrogant, too confident, too selfish. Then you have some that don't care. You have some that's dormant. You have some that's going to turn the other cheek. Where do we start? How do we start? Is there a place to start? And I want to show you guys this for motivation, Black America. I want to show y'all this for motivation. All right. I want to show you this for motivation. If you're on TikTok right now, you're not going to be able to see this unless you go over to my YouTube page. But I want to use this for motivation, Black people.
It's my blood and sweat of my relatives that made that happen. African Americans built capitalism in the same way that potatoes built McDonald's. The United States was 90+%, in my opinion, of course, white, almost for the totality of its existence. And you're going to tell me that this tiny group of people are the ones who made it great? Fuck off. It's my blood and sweat of my relatives that made that happen. African Americans built capitalism in the same way that potatoes built McDonald's. The United States was 90+%, in my opinion, of course, white, almost totality of its existence. And you.
What does that tell you, black people? What does that tell you, brothers and sisters? I just asked you, when are we going to put black on the map? You see what they think about us? Is that why other black people compete with black people? Because we can't compete with any other culture? Huh? Is that what it is? Right, it is their job. But you know what else we can't listen to? People like this. People like this. Watch this. All right. So this is all things theology right here. Technical difficulties here. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Technical difficulties. All right, here we go. Here we go. So this pastor is asking members to borrow money to pay tithes. That's right. Check this out. All things theology on YouTube.
Like he was in debt. That'll make sense. Then he says she hasn't actually lost anything. Well, then how's she going to get paid back? Right? Then I'm sorry. Maybe I'm being too critical. I just listen closely. And then, so for what she's lost in 10 years, she's about to get in 10 months. She's about to get a tax return. Look, like, I mean, that's just reality, right? Nonsense.
And he said, tell Joy, because she came here today, you just got approved for your new place. Now, somebody with a loud voice.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Because she showed up to this church, I think.
So this whole religion thing, we're not going to get anywhere with that either. FBA Convo, thank you, brother. Thank you, brother, for hyping it up on TikTok for me. Thank you, brother. So with this whole religious idea, we're not going to get anywhere either. We're not going to get anywhere either. As soon as I figure out how to do the moderators on here, FBA Convo, you know, you are guaranteed. I can't figure this out. Oh, I just figured it out. I just figured it out. There you go. Just figured it out. I believe you are in there. I believe you are in there. All right. So I appreciate you, brother. But we're not going to get anywhere with this religious perspective either. All these people have to say is in Jesus' name. And just like that, you know, it's being done. And it's funny that God only speaks to these people when they're hustling you for your money. If you pay attention to the guy right here in the blue, I agree with all things theology here. This has to be the hype man. This has to be the hype man. You better believe he's getting a cut out of what these tithers. But when a pastor asks you to borrow money to pay your tithes, this pastor is putting you in debt so that he can use your money to cure his debt. more games, more bougie, boule black people that's gonna feed off the less fortunate black people, y'all. This is the type of stuff we have to start readily identifying right here. Right here. This is the type of stuff we have to call out right here. And watch this. He's even gonna have a young lady running around the church. Watch.
It's Powerhouse Ministry, something like that, International Ministry, something of that. I think that's what it stands for. She got approved for a new pace on the basis of that. No, she got approved because if she got approved, right, on the basis of good credit history, having 2-3 months worth of rent in her account already. Like, this is not how it works. They're not coming to see what church you attend before you get prophesied to, right, or before they approve you.
Appreciate that, FBA Convo. Thank you. Thank you, bro.
I don't know if you heard that guy. Hold on. In the blue, he said, "No, that's 2020 vision." No, he just saying nonsense. Right? Listen to him again.
And for some reason, if you notice, I think I'm being shadow banned or something on YouTube here. You know, with the amount of people that are letting in my room now and on my channel in the platform, yeah, there's something going on YouTube, but I'm going to work my way through it. I'm definitely going to work my way through it. I appreciate that, LPA Convo. I definitely appreciate that. The grind is serious. You know what I mean? I'm going to work my way through it, brother. You know, I'm going to work my way through it. The numbers will go back up, but they're down right now. They're down. All right, let's get back into this. So using religion too, man. They're using religion against you. They're using religion against you. I told you, unification among the black race is going to be hard. There's so many divides. So many divides. And Christianity is definitely one of them. And y'all would never really hear me get on here and not mention Christianity. You know what I'm saying? Never mention Christianity. Because I'm telling you, I'm telling you that it's a plague. It's a plague, and people don't like the truth. We're living in a world now to where the lie has more value than the truth. Now we know that we were lied to. We know that we were lied to. You know, but the lie has more validation than the truth. These pastors are paying their bills based on a lie, and they know they're lying. That's why most of these pastors start with Exodus. They know they're lying, but the truth is going to get overlooked. The truth is going to get ostracized. The truth speakers are going to get shunned. The truth tellers are the ones that's remaining at the bottom in the world of social media, rather than those on here that's doing random BS, whether it's streaming video games or twerking, y'all. And men, y'all don't need to be on social media twerking like little females. Leave that to the females, and truthfully, the females shouldn't be doing it either, but to each their own, okay? To each their own. Know your worth, ladies. Know your value, okay? Know your value. If a man approached you the way you were dressed, you have a problem with it. So why are you dressing and dancing that way if you don't want to be approached that way? And that only makes sense. It only makes sense. All right? It only makes sense. Man, y'all, everybody can't be Chris Brown. We need soldiers out here. Huh? We don't need men out here who can roll and twist their hips like women. Y'all spending all this time dancing rather than handling business. And that's why we're getting so many homosexuals in our community. That's why we're getting so many homosexuals in our community. To each his own. I'm not casting any judgment. I'm just saying for every action, there's a reaction. But let's get back to this content. Let me show you how the church uses you. I want y'all to watch this woman run around this church basing everything on what this lying pastor is telling her. And y'all are convinced. See, that's what I'm saying. You're not even believing in God. You're believing in man. Watch how she runs around this church believing what this well-dressed man says, and he's well-dressed because of your money. He's asking you to borrow money to pay your tithes. Thank you, Black Ruth. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. So we're allowing Christianity to destroy us. These pastors are hustling. They're hustling. They're making God a brand. They're making Jesus a brand. Religion is a brand. It's a commerce. It's a business. They're getting paid off of it now. This is another way to divide black people, ladies and gentlemen. Christians want to know why you can't hold on to money? Because your pastor is taking it all from you. Your pastor is taking it all from you. Think about it. It's like a Geico commercial. You know, if you just switch to Geico, you could save 10%. Well, if you just stop going to church, you could save another 10%. You know, stop dealing with these lying people in the pulpit, man. But watch this. Watch the power of this indoctrination.
Yeah, he says that's 2020 glasses. That's 2020 vision. This is crazy.
Joy, here's my issue. Let me see if somebody get happy when I say it, because I know you will. My 2020 vision, looking at the iPad, is messed up. But my vision, seeing in the spirit, is excellent. God said, tell Joy, he said, I don't know what she can do. Get back in her rightful place. She's anointed from her mother's womb, and she was called by God.
The guy in the blue is clearly the hype man. Look at him.
Right. I was just about to say the same thing. The guy in the blue is clearly the hype man. You better believe he's getting some of that money. That guy is clearly the hype man. I haven't heard that man say anything that great yet that warrants that type of reaction. I haven't heard it. But yet, this is every church. They know what they're doing. So we're dealing with the bougie. We're dealing with the boule. We're dealing with the uneducated. We're dealing with the thuggish. We're dealing with the prideful. We're dealing with the poor. We're dealing with the conservative, the moderate, the everything, the blood, the crip. It's so much that divide us as black people. But yet, when you say in Jesus' name, when you hold on to the oppressor's religion, look how even your brothers and your sisters will use this against you for their very own come up. What up, though? What's good, FBA Convo? How you doing, brother?
Yeah, I was just requesting up there trying to get you to have some people on panel and shit. I really can't do it from the car because you're going to hit a reverb. I turned you all the way down. I can't hear what you're telling me. But you know what's up, man. You kicking the Willy Bobos, man. You got 2 people in the chat right now on TikTok. You got some people over on YouTube. Just keep on kicking the Willy Bobos to them and let them know. Yeah. Stand on business.
Definitely, brother. It's a hard grind, but it takes time, you know. It's a hard grind, but it takes time. It definitely takes time. But this is how we're allowing these people to move on us, man. You're getting excited over man. This man can talk you out of your wallet. He can take your time, manipulate your time, play with your mind, play with your money, play with your stability, and all you have left is hope. It's hope. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know how silly this sounds? It's just not, it's not feasible, y'all. It's not feasible. It makes no sense. Y'all check out these theatrics, man.
Yeah, I mean, this dude could say yabba dabba do and he would go crazy, right? Look at it. That's my pastor. That's my false prophet. Look at him. He going in. He ain't even saying nothing deep. Get back in your right place. I mean, what is that? That could mean anything and everything.
And God say, tell her I worked the miracle out on your behalf. Because what the devil meant to destroy your life, he turned it around. And I hear God saying this, and I need 12 of y'all to jump and scream. He said, tell her, I'm going to make the state pay you, y'all. Because somebody messed up something in the system. And it is so. So I want to deal with this.
So the state's going to pay her back based on somebody messing something up in the system. Look, she's about to get a tax return. Let's be real. She's about to get a tax return. That's all that means, right? All right, you want to see ridiculous? Speaking of ridiculous, listen to this one.
My new member, come here. Come here. That's my new member. My new member was running around the church earlier. She was running around the church earlier. I ain't never seen her run like that. Run around church like that. God said, if you run again, he's about to erase all your debt. You got to run. She got 60 seconds. Give her 60. Give her 60.
And she hits another lap. Hold on. I'm sorry, but the sweat on this back, I don't believe it, right?
This is laughable. This is laughable. Ladies and gentlemen, this is laughable. She's running around the church. He says, God said he's going to do this for you in 60 seconds. You need to run some more. How easy is it for these people to humiliate you and to manipulate you to get to your money by using God, by using Jesus as the shield, y'all, as the shield to it all? Come on, man. You went to church today not being able to walk at all, but now you up out of your wheelchair running around the church, and after church somebody's supposed to wheel you back out. You better run your ass back out the same way you're running around that church. What is this, man? What is this? And if you think this is something, I've got something else for you. TikTok, I'm only able to show this on YouTube right now. You know, I'm only able to, King Fire, what's good? What's good? You know, I'm only able to show this on YouTube right now. If you want to see it, go over to YouTube. Same handle, Mr. Uncut Consciousness. But I'm showing you something. And I'm showing you the state of this country and why we are divided. And if this isn't enough, let me show you something else. If that isn't enough, let me show you something else. And when I tell you we have good white folks in the world who know the truth, we do. So it's not only black people complaining. It's not only us. Watch this. Of course, there's always got to be a code.
Developed by a top-tier U.S. fruit tree research station.
All right.
One of the reasons.
Let's go. All right. This is Paul Lance on YouTube, y'all. This is Paul Lance on YouTube. I sound so southern. I'll be hitting you with that, y'all. Here we go. Listen to what he's saying, because every single thing he's saying is true. It's true. Y'all listen to this. And if you're not a Donald Trump fan, you'll really agree with what he's saying. Here we go.
One of the reasons that we're here is religious psychosis from racist white people that think that this is a great Christian America. You know, the country that hung black people from trees and beat them and whipped them and kept them in captivity. You know, that Christian nation. Yesterday, Paula White, who is an absolute nut, compared Donald Trump to Jesus Christ. Watch.
It almost cost you your life. You were betrayed and arrested and falsely accused. It's a familiar pattern that our Lord and Savior showed us. But it didn't end there for him, and it didn't end there for you. God always had a plan. Today, he rose, he defeated evil.
Donald Trump is being compared to Jesus Christ. All right, brother. All right, FBA Convo, I appreciate you, brother. And thank you for the inspiration, my man. Respect. Donald Trump is being compared to Jesus Christ. To Jesus Christ. Donald Trump, the hellion himself, is being compared to Jesus Christ. Thanks for the mod on both platforms. Let's continue. Yes, sir. You got it, brother. You got it, brother. You got it, brother. This is sad. This is sad, y'all. This is sad. Here we go.
He conquered death, hell, and the grave. And because he rose, we all know that we can rise. And sir, because of his resurrection, you rose up. Because he was victorious, you were victorious. And I believe that the Lord said to tell you this. Because of his victory, you will be victorious in all you put your hand to.
So the Jesus Christ that gave his life for people, that cured the sick, that gave people universal health care, that would have stopped gun violence, is just like the man that rapes women and molests little children, that cheats on his wife with a porn star that's been married 3 times. Praise Jesus, hallelujah in the house of God, amen. Can you please give me $10? And then the blessings from heaven will come down upon you like water over the rocks. It's manipulation. This is her.
Angels are being released right now. Angels are being dispatched right now. Amanda ata ata raka teda baka sanda ata ambo osa tata rite eke banda ata rike tidi ashata. The angels have even been dispatched from Africa right now. Africa right now. Africa right now. From Africa right now.
What a nut.
What the hell? What the hell? Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, what was she speaking? Clicking knees? What was that? That wasn't tongue. What was she saying? Why did it have to be Africa? Why couldn't it be Europe? Why couldn't it be America? Why couldn't it be Israel? It's funny to me how these people play on other people's faith-based systems, man. Right. What is she saying? Right. But if you notice, you heard people in the audience clapping. You heard people in the audience. I'm telling you, this is mental health right here, man. This is mental health at its finest points, ladies and gentlemen. If you still have a make-believe friend after all this time, then stop playing make-believe and really, really go get you a psych doctor, man. Really, really go get you a psych doctor. I mean, if you have to believe in something to be a good person, so be it. But don't play and hustle on other people, man. You know, with your foolishness. Yeah, mental health is an understatement on King Fire. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. I find this to be entertaining, though. I find this to be entertaining.
Hey, white people, give me $10 because Jesus told you to. I'm going on vacation to Europe, but it's all in the name of Jesus. This is why we have a lot of stupid white people. This is their version of Christianity. One more.
I want $100,000 to come in. I want $100,000. There are 10 people that could give $10,000. There's 100 people that could give $1,000. Get a check, make it payable to Paula White Ministry. There are people that are watching right now. If you say, I don't have it, give $100. Bring up a sacrificial seed. This isn't for me. This is about kids that will die without you being obedient. There's only 3 envelopes. I'm not moving. I'm not going to lay hands on people. So you're obedient. Get out of your seat. Come on and come bring up.
This is religious psychosis. It is. What did you see from Tammy Faye Baker? Erica Kirk. 11 days after her husband was the victim of a school shooting, she's saying on her call, oh, great job, team. We made $200,000 in merch. Great.
There you have it. I told you religion is a brand. God and Jesus in America is a brand. The same way you are an entity to make money, religion is another commerce. It's another come up. It's another backdoor to making money. Making money. Did y'all hear how much she was asking for? I wonder if that was before these gas prices went up because of what's going on with Iran. Did y'all hear what she was asking for? Scammers will scam, true. But that's a little too much right there. That's overboard. That's overboard. Religion and politics are the same demons. I agree. But we've got to see through this as a whole. We've got to see through this. All right. This is something that we've got to wake up from. This is how they're doing what they're doing. This is why they're busy coming up and living life right now. And they've got you convinced that you need to wait until you transition to live. But right now, we need you to be fearful. We need you to be obedient. We need you to sow a seed. When is the last time you gave the church demands for you? The church is supposed to be helping you. The church is the first schoolhouse ever to indigenous black people. When is the last time the church reached out to help you? When is the last time the church met your demands? When is the last time? No matter with these gas prices going up, no nothing, these pastors still want you to pay those tithes. They still want you to pay those tithes. Food costs has gone up. You got a house full of children. You got an expensive car note. But you got to have that fear. You got to be obedient. You got to pay that 10%. And you wonder why you're struggling. You wonder why you can't get ahead. But you're afraid to die and go to hell. Guess what? You're also afraid to live. You're afraid to die and go to hell. But Christians, I say to you, you're also afraid to live. They're instilling this fear in you of living while you're living. They're convincing you to wait until you transition, and they're living right in front of you at your expense. At your expense, ladies and gentlemen. They know what they're doing. This is a game, and you're a pawn on their chessboard. Life is a simulation. It's a script that they wrote for us all. It's the Matrix, and we're living it. While they're writing it, we're living it. We've got to wake up from this sleep and slumber, ladies and gentlemen. Right. It's more about the looks and lifestyle versus helping the people. And this is what I was saying about black bougie boule individuals who got it and want to elevate and project themselves as being better as a normal, regular black person in the struggle. It's the same, y'all. I told you we have so many things that divide us as a culture, as a people. We cannot unify until we start tearing down the very walls that hold us in division, y'all. There's so much there. If you just sit back and pay attention to this religious stuff and Christian stuff, and you watch how they move and you watch what they do, everyone during in the Epstein files were Christians. We're Christians. All the WARs and massacres in this country were Christians. The KKK, they were Christians. Christians, the people who marched January 6th, the insurrection, Christians. The people who destroyed Black Tulsa, Oklahoma, Christians. Black Wall Street, forgive me, Christians. The very people who are destroying the country right now, Christians. Y'all heard them mention Erica Kirk. It's all about the money. Praise God, we just made $200,000. It's all about the money. It's never about the message. It's all about the money, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the course of the Great Divide. This is what shifts and shakes us up right here. It shifts and shapes. How you say the real from the fake? Well, this is what it is. This is what it is.
Praise Jesus. Now everyone's going to come to God. This is religious psychosis. See, I'm a person of faith, but I can also say that I can't prove that God exists because I have critical thinking. I'm not in a cult. They believe something. You can't prove that God exists. You can't see him. You haven't heard his voice. You don't have a text message. You don't know what kind of food he likes. You just believe it because it makes you feel good. And when you're presented with actual evidence in real world, like right now, right? Like here's evidence in a court of law that Trump is a felon. Don't believe it. Nope. Sorry. Here's 24 women that he sexually assaulted. Sorry. Don't believe it. Nope. Here's a video of Donald Trump committing a crime. Nope. I don't believe it. It's AI. It's fake news. I don't believe it. But God sent Trump here. Oh, praise Jesus. Hallelujah. Oh, praise Jesus. Praise Jesus. Oh, my God. The heavens are opening up. How many people after that racist piece of trash podcaster was the victim of a school shooting? How many? Right? How many white people went online? Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus is coming. Jesus is coming. Oh, Bible sales are up. People are getting baptized. People are turning to Jesus. Oh, my God. The poor white Christian is the victim now. How many Native Americans were murdered by white people? How many black people were murdered by white people? 7 million Jews died in the Holocaust. But you nuts think that a racist podcaster is somehow going to lead to the return of Jesus? How about the alleged assassination attempt on the orange rapist, the Grand Wizard? How many of you dumbasses put tampons on your ears? Oh, I'm standing for, this is all in the name of Jesus. Jesus came down and saved his ear. So this is how.
I told y'all, we've got some white brothers and sisters out there. That's some truth seekers and truth speakers. I always reference Paul Lance. Paul Lance, he tells the truth, y'all. He tells the truth. So while they're busy telling us we're just playing victim, we're complaining. No, there's people within your own community who see and know the same thing that we live and experience. They know. This brother is speaking out right now. King Fire, that's right. Cream, dollar bills, y'all. That cash, yeah. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Let's get into this a little bit more because this is how you're being duped, ladies and gentlemen. You got to wake up from this stuff. You got to wake up from this.
How stupid they are, because you can't get through to a cult. It is a cult, right? So Jesus, God, the Holy Spirit, stood by during the Holocaust, World War I, World War II, while 40,000 people in this country died from gun violence, school shootings, lynchings, slavery, segregation, the murder of Native Americans, Asians in internment camps, and all kinds of atrocities. God just stood back and said, yep, I believe in free will. Oh my God, hold on, wait. Is that Donald Trump, the man that rapes women and cheats on his wife with a porn star? Oh, I'm going to go save his little ear. And you people are so stupid that you lap it up like little dogs. Oh my God. Oh, it makes you feel a certain way. Jesus, Jesus. This nut is asking for $100,000 or she's not going to lay hands on you. This is the Tammy Faye Bakers and all of these white right-wing nuts.
There it is. There it is. Asking for $100,000 or I'm not going to lay hands on you. Keep your hands to your damn self, first and foremost. Keep your hands to your damn self, first and foremost. But this is how gone we are in this faith-based stuff. The things that you can't see. Yeah, your social security number is making them rich. Exactly. That's an account number. It's the things that you can't see that they play on the most. And you develop this fear, being obedient to everything but you, empowering everyone but yourself, giving credit and thanks to everyone except you and the very people who did make it possible for you, the people that you can physically see and touch every day. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not saying there isn't a higher power. I'm saying can't nobody validate it. I'm not saying there isn't a most high. I'm saying there is no one right now who can validate it. No one. It's all a belief. It's all a belief. Look, even my guinea pigs agree. It's all a belief. So you're going to put all your eggs in one basket for a belief rather than believing in you. Rather than believing in you, rather than empowering yourself. Right, King Fire, I don't want your evil hands on me either. $100,000 or I'm not going to lay hands on you. Keep your hands to yourself. Invest in self. That's what it is. See, YouTube get it. YouTube, y'all got it. YouTube, y'all got it. It's investing in yourself, using that same empowerment and that same balance to balance yourself so that you become a better human being. Who's really got $100,000 to go out here and take to a church? There's people so in debt right now, $100,000 will take them out of debt. The same way it's going to take that mega church out of debt. This is a mega church. They can't ask for 10, 20, 30, 40, $50, y'all. They got to go for the grand hustle. You know, like a TI label. They got to go for the grand hustle. They got bills on top of bills, debt on top of debt, and you're going to help them pay off this debt. You're going to save the day for them, and at the same time, they're going to tell you to wait on God, to wait on a blessing, that God got something good for you. God said your debt is going to be paid off. God said run around the church for 60 seconds and he's going to get you that job you want. The craziest things, man. But if we ask you to believe in your brother or believe in yourself just the same, you can't do that. We're not capable of that. We're not built that way. We don't give a damn about them, and we see them every day. But we love somebody we can't see. We're going to put it all on the line over something we can't see. All right. In Truth Seeker 11 says, meanwhile, they have children and family they won't even give $1 to. Exactly. 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 This is shameful, y'all. I want y'all to see how this looks. How did it look with that young lady running around the church? She running so hard, she holding her chest. How did that look? And I wonder when she got out of church from exercising and getting her cardio up, I wonder if what he said actually came true. We knew her cardio was a little bit better because that sister had been exercising in church running laps, y'all. She was running laps, y'all. Just running laps. Real talk. But I wonder what actually happened for her, because this pastor just made a fool out of her. And truthfully, you're believing in what man says rather than believing what your inner God is telling you. Your inner Most High. Come on, man. Right. Mofos trust their conquerors more than their brothers. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Now, you just believed everything this man told you, and that Bible was designed to work against you. It was first called the Negro Slave Bible. You're going to run around this church and believe in man, but you can't even believe in the very people around you who hold you down. You don't even believe in yourself. You rather run around a church and make a fool of yourself than make it happen for yourself, because someone's going to give you something. A blessing is coming. Someone's going to save you. So you're not interested in saving yourself. And a pastor's not interested in you saving your money either. He needs that. He needs that. So as long as they can convince you that you're cursed, that you're sinful, that you're wicked, that you're hopeless, that's everything they need to continue to rob you blind. To continue to rob you blind. Yep, keep turning them cheeks. They're on your cheeks now. That's right. That's right. That's right. Let's get back into this content, because this brother gonna get deep. He's gonna cook. Watch this. He's gonna cook.
It's always about money. Always. And when you look at a lot of these fake Christians, because that's what they are. They're modern day Pharisees. They're the people that Jesus threw out of the church. What is it? What do you see on the people on the right? It's grifting, right? It's outrage. It's rage bait. Oh my God, tell me what's a man and a woman. Can you take a tampon out of a bathroom? Oh, take out the 10 transgenders out of all of college, the number one horrible thing in the entire world. Why is it that Jesus never tells you to give people universal health care? Or to care for the 800,000 homeless? Or feed the 14 million hungry? Or the 2/3 of this country that live paycheck to paycheck to try to make their lives better? Why is it that God never tells you actual things that actually help somebody else? It's fascinating how you just slap religion on anything that you want to believe, because that's what this is. Faith without works is religion. That's what these people are. They are religious psychosis. There's going to be history books written about the indoctrination of churches in this country. And let's be very clear. When you look at a church like the Catholic Church, how many thousands of young men have been molested by the Catholic Church? Thousands and thousands. Oh, but turn to God. Go to church. Praise Jesus. How many women were assaulted in the Baptist Church over decades? Oh, praise Jesus. Hallelujah. Hey, nobody's perfect. It's always the people with crosses and Bibles. It's always the same demographic. And when you go online, who are the most nastiest, meanest people that cuss and swear and judge? Oh, God first, quoting Isaiah or John 3:16, or they have a cross or an American flag. Oh,
whoa. Man, listen, I thought I was alone. I told y'all Paul Lance be cooking, man. Paul Lance take them pots out. Paul Lance make sure he season his food, man. Paul Lance make sure he season his food, man. Paul Lance on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. The brother is speaking the truth. But the problem is, why can't others see this truth, man? Why can't they see past indoctrination? Why can't they see past hate? Why can't they see past, idolizing someone or something? Why can't they see past working yourself up to be better than someone else? Why? It's the question, ladies and gentlemen. Why? The very things that's built to divide us. Now, they would constantly say, I'm playing victim or I'm complaining if this was me saying this, but I'm giving you someone who looks just like you, just like the colonizer, and you're hearing it. So what do you have to say now? And I just did a live earlier this morning. Trump has the letter S, allegations against a White House worker now. Well, she has them against him. to the point where she has to be escorted in and out of the president's office when he calls for her. Y'all go back and look at that live stream from this morning. It was early this morning, y'all. Go check that out. So what is Trump going to do? Is he going to start another military campaign to hide those headlines as well? Why don't these people ever get locked up? And I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. But I'm on my free R. Kelly-ish right now. Why is R. Kelly sitting locked up and none of these people are doing time? None of these people are doing time. Why is R. Kelly being held accountable, but these people are not? Makes you wonder. Makes you wonder.
Freedom, freedom, freedom. But you won't even pass universal health care. Do you think Jesus would be more worried about gun violence or defining what a man and a woman is? Would Jesus be more concerned about feeding the homeless or taking tampons out of a boy's bathroom? Because I know the person that I serve, and that's what faith is. See, MAGA Christians, these white Christian nationalists, are actually not Christians. They actually have more in common with Satan, right? They both believe God. They both memorize the Bible. They both weaponize religion for manipulation, and neither one of them follow him. There will be a day for these nuts, and have comfort in this, that they will stand before God and all of this BS, these whatever this crap is, and worshiping an antichrist, they will stand before God and they will have their day. And he's going to ask them, why didn't you do anything for these kids that starved? Why didn't you stand up for the kids in Gaza? Why didn't you stand up for the kids that died in Uvalde or Sandy Hook? Why did you spend your whole life grifting on social media about transgenders and college sports? You can go with Jeffrey Epstein, because that's where you guys are going to end up. All of you Pharisees, because that's what you are. For whatever reason, this is the gift that my talent that I have been given. I grew up in a house with a father that was like this. That was a nasty, awful, horrible person during the week. That every Sunday, praise Jesus, praise Jesus. Well, he put his hands on my mom and pushed her through walls. And
Wow. See, there we go. There we go. He's telling it. He's actually displaying the very things that we already knew. The very things that we already knew about these individuals, y'all. Already knew about these individuals. And they hide it to make themselves look good, to look perfectly flawless when they are perfectly flawed. We know that we're perfectly flawed. They tell us when we're born that we're born in sin. We're born in iniquity. We're born cursed. And we face that oppression all through life. All through life, right? We believe that. But they will wipe the slate clean as if they've never done anything wrong ever in their existence. And we all know that that is untrue. These people are diabolical creatures, man. Diabolical creatures. So I'm glad to see even their own calling them out. What are they going to call him? A race traitor? I'm pretty sure they have some type of racial nickname for this brother right here for telling the truth. But truthfully, you're only telling your own white counterparts because in Black America, we know this. We live the Black experience. We know this. Let this brother land real quick.
beat us with belts. This is what they are. Faith without works is dead. They are all talk. And these Christians have justified everything in this country. Like I said earlier, the horrible stuff to black people, the way that we've treated women and minorities and anybody that's not white. In the name of Jesus, praise God. Trump is an antichrist. He is the opposite of what Jesus stood for. Because white Christian nationalism has nothing to do with faith. It has to do with playing God, not following God. They have picked an earthly king, which is why they reject the heavenly king. Every 4 years, what do Republican Christians, I say that very loosely, what do they say? Are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Does that sound like a question that Jesus would ask? Or are we better off? Are your neighbors better off? It's a selfish question, right? They vote on one thing. Do I have more money? They build their wealth on heaven. They worship an earthly king, an antichrist. That's who they are. They are of the world. Now, we all live here.
King Trump. In the same breath, holler Christ is king. And when you holler Christ is king, all you're saying is anointed one is the king. What anointed one? What anointed one? Christ is king. Christ is king. Well, be specific. Which Christ? There's been lots of anointed ones. All are looking to display some form of power. People want to have power and control over others instead of just having control over yourself and conducting yourself accordingly. I don't want anyone controlling me and telling me what to do. The reason I choose to separate and do my own thing and help who I need to help, I'm with you. That's facts. That's facts on Truth Seeker 11. That's facts. All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. You know, I'll be back with more content. I've got to put in work, man, and put myself back in this algorithm, you know, on both platforms. So I've got to get the work out. You know what I'm saying? Truth Seeker, you are onto something for real. Yes, they are. Yes. Truth Seeker is definitely onto something. King Fire, I appreciate you rocking with me. You know, we're going to be getting new moderators in, y'all. People come, but they don't stay. You know, people get beside themselves and you learn who people really are the longer you're around them. So we've been making some changes to the platform. We're going to continue to lose people, but we'll continue to gain people, you know, as well. All right. I appreciate that. Truth Seeker says, keep it up. Great content. Thank you. Thank you. And it'll only get better. Okay. It'll only get better. You know, don't forget to hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen, subscribe button. Okay. Stop it over there. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen, you know, and help someone out today by telling the truth, revealing the truth, being there for someone, regardless of what you have or what they don't have. It's about being humane. It's about looking at everyone in the same image because we are all made and built and designed in the same image, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not let the materialistic things divide us. Let's not let culture and politics and all this other silly stuff divide us, man. The job is to come together. The goal is to come together. The obligation is to come together. As my dear white counterparts would say, get her done. With that being said, y'all know what to do, man. Get your one-on-one. Get your one-on-one. Get your one-on-one. Get your one-on-one. Everybody, get their one-on-one with the Most High, the real Most High, y'all. Y'all stay prayed up, stay blessed up, stay meditated up, stay protected. Stay real, stay conscious, stay uncut. Be inspired. Be great. Be you. And thank you for grinding it out. Thank you for joining. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate everyone. Let's hit that like button. Let's hit that subscribe button. And I look forward to seeing everyone back. Ashe.